how big of a college football fan are you? Because today we're looking at 12 random facts that you probably don't know about college football. Even if you're a freak, I can guarantee you don't even know half of these. I can guarantee you don't even know 3 out of the 12. I didn't know myself. I miss college football Saturdays so much, guys. I just want to say that before we get started with the video. I remember week 1 of 2023 like it was yesterday. Who remembers Wyoming playing Texas Tech? That was the game of the week. I completely ran them off topic. We're going to get into it in a sec. If you don't know who I am, I'm Saturday Shenanigans, and I post 3 college football videos every single week to keep you guys entertained all off season. Feel free to subscribe and join the best family in college football. This is the fastest growing college football YouTube channel. Jump on the bandwagon now before it's too late. If you're excited for the 2024 season, leave a like on this video. Smash that like button so this gets out to as many college football fans as possible. And let's get started. I'm going to throw up some highlights in the background to keep you guys extra stimulated. High school highlights, actually, because college ones would get copyrighted. Xavier Worthy's the talk of the world right now with the 4.4 40-yard dash, so I'm going to throw up his high school tape in the background. Going to be very fun. And also Kyler Murray, arguably one of the best high school players ever. So sit back while I talk and enjoy this one. In 2019, Joe Burrow threw more touchdown passes in Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium than Matt Ryan did the entire year. This is somehow true. In the SEC championship game against Georgia and also the college football playoff semifinal against Oklahoma, Joe Burrow threw for a combined 11 touchdown passes. And yes, this was more than Matt Ryan did at home. Matt Ryan threw for 26 that year, and he did not throw for 11. He was throwing all his tutties on the road. We can officially say Joe Burrow was the king of Atlanta in 2019 before he had even gone to the NFL, because Matt Ryan only had 8 combined touchdown passes in that home stadium. In my previous video, I talked about Indiana and the irrelevant football program that they have, and this statistic just puts it all into perspective. They could have 25 consecutive 10-win seasons, and they would still be overall under 500 as a football program. Oh my gosh. I asked you, if you're an Indiana fan, please go leave it in the comments. What is it like rooting for an irrelevant program year in and year out? I would love to see some coach come in there and save Indiana the same way that Lance Leipold is saving Kansas right now. Nick Saban, maybe you need to come out of retirement and help them be competitive in the ultra-competitive Big Ten. If you ask me the college football game with the most accumulated amount of punts, I would probably say it had something to do with Iowa, but I would be way off. We have to go way back in time to see when this really happened. Back in the 1930s, there were not high-flying offenses. They were pretty much running and holding onto the ball, but still, this is a crazy fact. In 1939, Texas Tech versus Centenary, the game finished 0-0 with a combined 77 punts. 77 punts! Who was there at that game? Centenary finished with 31 combined yards on offense, while Texas Tech finished with a whopping -1. Yes, and the game was tied 0-0. No one won. This must have been a great football game to be at. Really getting after it, guys. The Michigan football team taught Notre Dame how to play football in 1887. Yes, so Michigan fans, if you're ever annoyed with Notre Dame, you cannot complain, because all of this today in 2024 is your fault. An administrator at Notre Dame sent a letter to some former Michigan students and asked them to set up a lesson teaching them how to play, and it happened. The rest is history. I think someone mentioned this before in the comment section of a Notre Dame video I did. I know a lot of you are college football history nerds, so go tell me what's up in the comments. Everyone remembers that amazing or fateful day for Michigan fans when they lost to Appalachian State in 2007, one of the greatest upsets ever. But what many people don't know is that was the first game that aired on the Big Ten Network. What a way to start that channel. Seriously, that's got to be the most cursed thing ever for the Big Ten Conference as a whole, and also Michigan football, but I mean, it's all good. Michigan just won the national championship in 2023. I think they're over it now. Appalachian State is on a whole new path as well. They made it out of FCS, and now they're a solid program in the Sun Belt. In 2015, Michigan State beat both Ohio State and Michigan while leading for a combined total of 0 seconds in the game. Yes, we remember that iconic Michigan versus Michigan State matchup. Trouble with the snap. Oh, yeah, the punt fumble. Oh my gosh, that's how Michigan State won against Michigan. And then against Ohio State, they pretty much trailed the entire game and won with a last-second field goal. Michigan State, you are the rally boys. You can't really call 2023 Washington the cardiac kids, because this Michigan State team existed. They made the college football playoff and got smashed by Alabama, but still a memorable season. This one is short, sweet, but it is kind of interesting. Boise State has never actually fired a head coach in the history of their program. There's always going to be that one bad apple coach, or in most cases 5 or 10 that get fired by a program. But Boise State, they've never had to have that hard talk. Most of their coaches ended up taking other jobs and moving up the ladder. You can take this any way you want, but Boise State's had a great football program, especially since the 2000s. This one is unbelievable. I'm probably gonna have to put it in the thumbnail. We've all heard of ridiculous non-conference matchups, but what about UCF playing Russia? Russia, yes, the Moscow Bears as a real opponent in the 1992 season. This is well before UCF was claiming national titles. They were an FCS team, and they had a 3-week scheduling problem where they weren't facing anyone, so they went to a ridiculous stretch and invited the Moscow Bears, a Russian-American Football League team, to play them in Orlando, and they ended up smashing them. They won 43-6. Go America. This is probably the craziest non-conference game I've ever heard of. In 2021, due to COVID, the Rose Bowl was not played in Pasadena. It was played at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. The only other time the Rose Bowl wasn't played in Pasadena was 1942, where it was played at Wallace Wade Stadium, which is Duke Stadium. This is because there was a fear that there would be an attack by Japan on the U.S. West Coast after Pearl Harbor. Back in the old days of college football, there was no definitive champion, but there was a lot of schools that claimed their national championships by either going undefeated, being ranked high in the polls, and a lot of other factors. There is no other school notorious for claims than the Minnesota Golden Gophers. They've claimed 7 national championships in program history in 1904, 1934, 35, 36, 1940, 41, and 1960. Man, they absolutely killed it in the 30s and 40s. In a 2006 game between the number 2 ranked Auburn Tigers and the unranked South Carolina Gamecocks, Auburn had the ball the entirety of the third quarter. They did not let South Carolina touch the ball. That is super weird. It was because of an onside kick, but that is a stat that you just don't ever see. That's all I got for you guys today. If you enjoyed this style of video, smash that like button, go leave a comment, share with your friends, and I'll do more. The YouTube algorithm does not like college football right now. It's really hard for these videos to reach new fans, but I'd appreciate it a lot if you guys could support. Thanks so much for reaching the end of the video. I've been Saturday Shenanigans, your home for unfiltered college football content, and I'll see you guys soon.